talent development and talent retention. Talk about talent and we remember Sudhakar Murthy garu. Big clap for him, please. Presently focusing on end-to-end of HR operations, learning and leadership development, performance management, change management and organizational transformation. Sudhakar Murthy joined Tata Projects as Vice President HR in 2015 and responsible for successfully creating business impact by focusing on aligning the HR strategy with business objectives and strategies. Prior joining Tata Projects, he was associated with Lanco Infratech Limited as Chief Learning Officer. In fact, he joined as Vice President Corporate HR and elevated to CLO of the group. Hyderabad Industries Limited, NCL Industries Limited, Elico Sonics Limited and Voltas Group. Besides, he is having 18 plus years of strong entrepreneur experience. Wow, that's great. Please, I deserve a big round of applause. We request you, sir, to share your insights and views about the books to the august audience.
Respected Mr. Gopal Krishna, my friend Srini, and of course, at the Blue Boy today, Dr. Vishwanand Pattar, and my dear friends. First and foremost, I'd like to congratulate Dr. Pattar for authoring and bringing out this book on leadership. Be a leader, not a follower. I think it provoked some thoughts in me, because earlier I had heard that you can't be a good leader unless you are a good follower. You've got to be a good follower to be a good leader. But this is surprising and provoked thoughts. I think that is one of the qualities of Vishwanand Pattar and the content inside that book, that he has provoked such thoughts. It's not whether it's right or wrong, because in this world nothing is right, nothing is wrong, it's all relative. It's only a question of appropriateness and fit. So therefore I just started thinking about this, and that brought an idea to my mind which was there, provoked by my dad. So I just wanted to share this anecdote which is there, which I remembered when I read the title, Be a Leader, Not a Follower. My dad told me a story about what we must have read somewhere, I do not know really where is the origin of that particular thing. It is a story about Mahatma Gandhi and Subhash Chandra Bose and Aurobindo. Aurobindo was the master for Mahatma Gandhi, and Gandhi used to go many a times to have an off so that he rejuvenates himself, recharges himself and comes back. So every time he goes to Aurobindo's place, before coming he would go to the master and request Aurobindo to give him an advice. So he seeks an advice from Aurobindo. And every time Aurobindo would give him some advice, and he feels very satiated and comes back and rejuvenated, fully charged. And like this many a times he went. One time I think this is too many times he has gone, and a lot of advice he has taken. So this time when he asked Master Aurobindo for an advice, he said, Gandhi, I don't have any advice now, I can't think of anything now. So he said, no Master, my entire visit here will be incomplete unless you give me an advice. So he was a little ziddi, he was like a small child asking him to give some advice or the other. So Aurobindo thought for quite some time and told Gandhi that, Gandhi, you are just a follower of truth. The need of the hour of this country is that we need establishers of truth. So I think it's not being a follower that is important, but it is establishing that is important. It's not being a leader that is important, but it is important that we establish a leader. And I think authors like Dr. Vishwanand Pattar are actually contributing towards establishing leadership by actually giving such type of books to us. And it is accessible to all the people. It's in a very simple language, and he's a practicing personnel. So therefore, what he writes is easily understandable. If it's a very highly academic and scientific guy writing a book on leadership, we have seen so much of literature. I heard that about 800 kilometers of literature is published every day on leadership. I don't know what exactly happened. So, to be a leader, not a follower. I read this book, and I must apologize that I have not read the poems. Maybe because I'm not so eager to serve the poem. When I read the title poetry, thinking of management and poetry, so that could be some individual shortcomings. Now, really, when I read this book, there are powerful lessons for people management in this book. It starts right by the selecting of people onwards till the last one, which is the retention of people. In between, you inspire people, you motivate people, you understand people, you read people, you engage people, you develop people, and so on and so forth. I think it covers the entire gamut. Added to that, I think the icing on the cake is how do we communicate. I think that's the real key, that's the nerve center for success today as a leader. So communicating, coaching, leading, and finally leading change. So I thought that this is wonderful. It's got an extremely comprehensive integrated coverage of people leadership. Leadership can be anything under the sky, but I think this book really focuses on people leadership. Fantastic. Thanks to you, Vishwanand, for bringing out that. The other thing which I was very much touched by this book is, already the earlier speaker Srini has told about it, but I would like to re-emphasize that by saying that it actually appeals to diverse readers in a unified way. I think I would like to put it like that. It appeals to diverse readers in a unified way. Different people want different things from the book. Some people want logic and rationale. Some people want concepts. Some people want summaries. Some people want tips and tools. I think whatever you are, whoever you are, what you want, you can find in this book on every chapter. And some people like to read only one chapter, so it's been divided very well, so that even if you read one chapter, you've got a wholesome knowledge from that particular book. So this is what, in short, I say, a unified book catering to diversity. This is really appreciable. The other thing, acronyms have been pointed out. I think this is a very nice way to actually internalize things which are complex, things which are difficult. I think if you have the acronyms, it's very easy. I think this is what we try. And also, it's a sort of a branding for that particular thing that happens. It's written about ABCD of inspirational leadership. Very simple things like attitude, behavior, confidence, desire, and enthusiasm. Power of motivation, expanding power, passion, opportunity, work environment, empowerment, and recognition. I think this is fantastic. I really like this, and we can read any portion of the book, and I think we'll get some sort of a fulfillment, everyone across whatever be the diversity that we have as individuals in us. I once again congratulate Dr. Pattar for his contribution to leadership literature and recommend that all of us possess this book, read, study, share, and internalize some of the principles, practice some of the approaches, and elevate to higher levels of leadership, higher levels of people leadership. If it's okay with the august audience here, I seek permission to humbly share a few thoughts of mine on leadership. Is that okay with you?
Yes.
Thank you. The first statement I would like to make about this is that leadership is the most observable and least understood phenomenon. So therefore, any number of books that come are not enough. And I think we can easily spot a leader, but I think it's equally difficult to spot how he became a leader and what do I need to do to become a leader. I think this is the first statement that I would like you people to reflect upon. Leadership is the most observable and least understood phenomenon. The second thing, this is something which I personally did over a period of years of experience as a trainer during the entrepreneurial stint that I had, which was told when I was introduced here. And I tried to say there's so many things about leadership. How can I summarize and find the essence of leadership in 3 words? So I said, what could be the 3 questions that I can ask which would fundamentally define the essence of anything? The first question is, what is the purpose of leadership? I think this is a very important question. Why do we want to become leaders? Why do we want to study leadership? This is a vital thing. Unless we have the answer to this, I think no book would be really of any consequence to us. So therefore, I think you need to have a purpose. And the purpose of leadership, I thought, I had so many words, and I started eliminating one by one. And I found that the real purpose of leadership is service and contribution. So therefore, unless you are prepared to serve, I don't think you are having stepped towards leadership. So the purpose of leadership is service. The second thing is, what is the foundation quality of leadership? I think that is there in the word leading itself, that you got to lead and you got to be ahead, and that means you need to have initiative. Unless you have initiative, you're not going to be a leader no matter what you have. And the last but not the least, which is very essential, what is the power source? What is the source of power for leadership? And we find the source of power for leadership is courage. Service, the purpose, initiative, the foundation quality, and courage. And what is courage? I was thinking courage is fearlessness, but I heard once Azim Premji talk about it in some congregation address, and I think it was really appealing to me. And he said courage is not fearlessness, but the ability to manage in spite of fear. I think that is what is required for a leader. So service, initiative, and courage are the people. At the end, I will tell you why I'm sharing this and how it's connected with the book also. Next thing I would like to say, leaders develop leaders. Ultimately, what do we want to do? We want to develop leaders. We don't want to develop followers. So I think I like the title of the book, which says, "Be leaders, not followers." Okay. What do leaders do and how do they develop leaders? I think through all the knowledge that is given in this particular book and practices and principles, they lift the man's vision to higher heights. That's the job of a leader. As a leader in your family, as a leader in my family, as a leader in our family, I think our job wherever we are, the people around us, we must try to reach their vision to greater levels, higher sides. We must raise the performance of a man beyond to higher standards and ultimately build the personality beyond its normal limitations. I think this is the job of leadership. This is what we need to do as far as people leadership is concerned. Another thing that I experienced is you cannot be a leader without being a learner, and if you are a learner, you definitely will be a leader. Leaders are learners, and learners are leaders. This is another thing. When somebody asked me what is learning, I think this was a quest which I had. I wanted to understand what is learning, because as a trainer, I used to tell people that we must learn in life. But what is learning was a question which was always troubling me. I thought maybe one answer which I have, I can share with you. Learning is the process of identifying, testing, reinforcing, or reconstructing one's own beliefs. We are nothing but a set of beliefs. What I am is a set of beliefs. What each one of you is a set of beliefs. And these beliefs which are there, not that every one of us knows all our beliefs. So therefore, it's a continuous process where during every day of our life, we try to identify what is the belief we have. We try to test whether the belief is true or false. And then if it's true, you reinforce it. And if it's false, you reconstruct this belief. I think that is learning. And this is a continuous lifelong process. So leaders are learners and learners are leaders. I try to look at what are the top 5 attributes I would look for if I want to follow somebody or if I want to be with that leader and become a leader. Number 1, honesty. Number 2, forward-looking. Number 3, inspiring. Number 4, competent. And number 5, last but not the least, intelligent. Intelligent enough to maneuver, intelligent enough to manipulate in the right sense, to overcome any obstacle and anything that we have in life or in an organization. I think that is what is important for leaders. You can search for the leader whom you appreciate in life and see, you will find all these 5 qualities to a great extent, and therefore that's where the sustainability of leadership is. One of the things that I've seen in management literature, the real confusion is about managerial skills versus leadership skills. Everybody talks about it. In many of the colleges you go today also, what is managerial skills, what is leadership skills? I think there's an utter confusion. I would like to actually share some clarity which I think I have with the august audience here. Management deals with coping with complexity. It does planning, it does organizing, it does all those type of things. Managerial skills are problem solving, decision making, stuff like that. But what does leadership do? Leadership copes up with change. That's a very important thing. And the 3 skills that are very essential for leadership, according to me, in my practice, what I found is 1, setting a direction for your people. 2, aligning the people to that direction. And 3, inspiring your people to walk that path. These are the 3 things. And I've also got influenced a little. I'm just coming to the end of the story. I hope I've not taken a long time. I was very influenced by these acronyms in Dr. Vishwanand Pattar's thing. So I said I should also share one acronym which we have made at Tata Projects, and we think who are leaders. And I said leaders are agile. Leaders are agile. And agile means, all of you know the meaning of the word speed and swiftness and flexibility, adaptability, whatever all put together in one, that's agility. So therefore, what does this agile stand for? Leaders always want to be ahead. And they always want to be ahead, and they are ahead because they have a lot of energy, they have tremendous amount of initiative, and they have an ability to influence. Energy, initiative, and influence. These are the 3 things which leaders are always ahead. The second thing is G in agile. G is genuinity. You can never be always ahead. You will always topple down or fall, for sure, unless you are on the foundation of genuinity. Leaders who are genuine are honest, respectful, and caring. The I stands for you're good, you're genuine on a foundation of genuinity, you are there, you're wanting to be always ahead. But I think we should always be aware of the environment in which we are. In today's competitive environment, I think innovation and learning are very, very vital. And so therefore I stands for innovate. What do these leaders do? They always challenge the status quo, they think creatively and do differently. And learning, I think learning starts with keen observation. I think this is a very important thing, and this is what I think is lacking in the youngsters because of the pace at which they want to go. Nothing wrong with the pace, I appreciate that. But I think along with the pace, a sense of keen observation is very vital if we want to learn. We learned when we were born as a child, when we were born and came onto this earth, we learned through the process of observation. But parents do not know that children have such a great keen observation capability. So we can do whatever we like in front of them. But I think they're very keen observers. So keen observation, they're very inquisitive, and they ask questions fearlessly. I think that's another quality. But these two, we can really make them fertile, innovation and learning, if we are on a foundation of entrepreneurial mindset. One of the things that is lacking is a sense of ownership. Be it an organization, be it an organization like FAPCCI, be it an organization or association, or be it the family. I think ownership is a very important thing. That's what the entrepreneur has. So therefore, on an entrepreneurial mindset, you need to demonstrate ownership. You need to be able to take calculated risks. And finally, you must realize that you are the greatest resource you have. Nothing else in this world is a greater resource than what you have. All other resources, how you're going to utilize, depends upon how resourceful you are, which is the greatest resource. Having said this, I thank all of you for the patient listening you gave me. I humbly hope that my thoughts and ideas and perspectives I shared with you will be of utility to all of us. And I must thank Dr. Pattar for giving me this opportunity and this audience with whom I could share this, to be the guest of honor today evening. And it's immense pleasure for me and a privilege also to be present here. And I pray God that he continues this contribution to the leadership literature and serves the leadership fraternity as a whole. Thank you very much and all the best.